All right, guys, we're back with the Screen Team. I've got Sabrina and Tracy in the studios, and we are going to review the movie Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension. That's right, they made another one, and it's
all about the camera.
It's all about the camera. You know, this is why I don't like these what is it?
Why don't you like
found
these?
footage movies? Because, man, they are who's editing them? That's what I want to know. You found it, and then who's doing all the editing with these things, man?
I have thought that before with it as above, so below. Like,
yeah, and you know, I just don't understand. If you got this monster coming, I'm gonna stop filming and I'm gonna run away.
That's what I told Lily.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Throw the camera down.
They're running and then they look back, or they're running backwards or something.
Yeah.
How do they keep the camera up where they can see what they're filming so clearly?
I thought it was creative with the first couple of movies that did, like Blair Witch Project. You know, it was something different, something new. It's getting tired.
Well,
it's been tired for 20 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Interesting. I read somewhere that the director that made Paranormal Activity did so because he passed on Blair Witch Project, and then he kicked himself for not getting in on that. So that first movie, that was his house, and he just did it to try to get on that found footage kick, and then all this took off.
Well, I mean, you're right. It took off. I mean, the budget for this film was, or at least the first one, was like nothing, and they made like millions and millions and millions of dollars. So, I mean, production costs were really, really low, and they made a bucket off of this franchise. So, I guess you know, from a business standpoint, you can't blame them.
Who cares if it sucks if you're going to make money off of it, right?
Yeah. Ghost Dimension came out last year, and it's the sixth and final installment in the Paranormal Activity series.
The key word here is final.
Are we sure? Because it left a cliffhanger.
Oh, that's what it says here on Wikipedia. So I'm hoping Wikipedia is right.
Maybe it just means final so far.
That's what we thought about Freddy and Jason.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much money into this thing that it's never ever going to stop. But we have a new crew who's getting paranormal activity
in their house.
Yes, but it's basically the same thing. They've got the cameras. You've got a funny guy. You've got a hot wife, and you've got a couple other side players, and they're trying to videotape and prove that some sort of paranormal activity is going on in their household. But this one says it's a different kind of film that you actually get to go into and see the paranormal.
That's what I was so excited about.
Yeah.
Because it came out not long after this last Poltergeist remake, and they had where you went in and you got to see the other side, and I thought that was awesome in Poltergeist. So I thought, well, I want to see their take on it. No, it's like a time warp portal. You get to go to these Christy and Katie's house when they were a kid,
and they're from the original, correct?
Yeah,
or the original characters.
Yeah, I think Christy was the first one, and Katie was, I think.
I don't know. It's all kind of screwy to me.
Yeah,
I just know that the house was built where the previous house stood, and they just kept revisiting scenes that happened when those girls were young and when they'd first been taken into the cult, and the camera caught the swirling activity going on, and that was where entities were. I don't even know what the entities had to do with the stuff they were seeing in the past. And it was like, is that the creature that they were serving in the past? And then he was still there, and I don't know. It's just crazy.
This is probably a difficult question for you guys, but I'm curious. What is it about these movies that we like and we keep coming back for? Why do we keep watching these films?
For me, it's the jump factor.
I understand that, but it takes, for me anyway, it takes so long to get to that jump factor.
Yeah.
Like, it takes at least a good 45 minutes before something scary actually happens. They're just so slow to me.
They are.
Well, they're home movies.
Yeah, I mean, Sabrina, why do we keep going back to these?
I don't. Somebody else made me do it.
No, that's not true. That is not true. Wait, well, you know what? You might be right about that. Because when we first started reviewing these, wasn't it Michael who kept picking it?
Yes.
You're right. You are right. It was Michael who kept doing that. But Tracy, I think I would agree with you as far as like the first one, because everybody liked that jump factor. But with each movie that came after, it just seemed like we were watching Paranormal Activity 1, and the scares were farther apart and longer to get to me.
The best part, the best compliment I can give this style of movie making in this genre particularly is your limited visibility. You are limited to what the camera lens can capture, and what's going on outside of it or up close. It's as if you could take yourself, put something up here that limited your visibility, and you can't see what's happening outside the lens area. The unknown is the scariest thing a person can experience. That's what we're all afraid of, is the unknown. It's the biggest fear factor in the world. In humanity is the unknown. So what's happening outside the lens is the one thing that drives people to want to see more.
I liked this movie a little bit more than the previous sequels. Now, I liked the first one a lot, but I think this one would be the best sequel. Just, we were talking about found footage and who's editing it? Why are you even bothering to hold this thing up while you're running from a monster? But I liked how they kind of incorporated that with you could only see the monster through the lens. So you have to have it up if you're going to avoid it.
Yeah. So
I liked that part of it. I wish they would have played on that more, because there was just that one scene. And this guy's like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to walk right into it. I would not. I would have like a perimeter up and nobody comes near and we're moving out of the house immediately.
Tracy, for horror buffs like you, do you think this is worth their time, or do you think they should just stick with the first one and enjoy that one?
If you like found footage, I say go for it. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it. I wouldn't make it a big event where you invite a bunch of friends over and hype it up or anything.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something to do on a weeknight, sure.
Okay. Movie is called Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. It's one that you can find on DVD. It's brand new. Cool. Tracy, thank you for being on the show. We love having you on, and we'll be back next week. A full hour of movie reviews for you. We'll have movies like the new Jungle Book. We'll be doing that one. Also, Goosebumps. And we'll be doing the movie The Boy, Shrek, The Intern, and so much more. So make sure you tune in next Saturday at 6 p.m. for another edition of The Screen Team. For Tracy, Chris, and Sabrina, we are The Screen Team on KWOC.